To remain updated with the latest business news, click on the bell icon.
Good evening, everyone. I hope that you're enjoying yourselves. Ladies, wonderful ladies, and gentlemen, welcome to our edition of MPW. First of all, I'd like to thank Mr. K.V. Kamath, Mr. Uday Kotak, and Mr. Aditya Thackeray for joining us this evening. This is the 18th edition of the Business Today Most Powerful Women Awards. In one of my early years, I remember saying that the MPW is one of my favorite events because it is so high on emotion and warm camaraderie. And I see that it hasn't changed at all. The energy and the enthusiasm have only multiplied. We now have an embarrassment of riches. There are so many worthy women leaders to choose from. I welcome today the new entrants to this illustrious group. I'm also delighted that after 2 grueling years of the pandemic, we are able to meet in person for this celebration. Having attended most of the Business Today MPW Awards, I can safely say that I have literally seen the evolution of India's women leadership before my eyes. In the early 2000s, women were not as spread out across multiple industries, even male-dominated ones such as core manufacturing, as they are today. So our listing was initially dominated by bankers and promoters, with a sprinkling of executives from the media and entertainment industry, and sundry other sectors making up the rest. In the inaugural edition in 2003, there were 8 bankers in the list of 25 winners. 6 of them were from ICICI Bank. Over the next several years, the strong core group of women leaders at ICICI Bank was a regular feature in our listing of the most powerful women in business. Mr. Kamath, who you heard earlier, was singularly responsible for bringing women leadership roles at the ICICI Bank he headed. As women leaders spread their wings in other industries, Business Today MPW listing began to reflect these systemic changes which happened. The IT industry began to make its presence felt. Startup founders started getting in, and their investors too. This year's listings has a mix of great women leaders across multiple industries and regulatory bodies. Today, no industry dominates the list because the women are succeeding everywhere. That can only be good for the country and its economy. I'm also delighted that we are meeting in the 30th anniversary of the Business Today. And we will, of course, have that celebration just after the awards function. We started Business Today MPW Awards in 2003, but we started Business Today in 1992. It was a product of economic liberalization, existing in parallel and moving in tandem with the country's economic and business growth. When we published Business Today's first issue in January 1992, the country was full of hope and renewed energy. A minority government was changing the economic history of the country irreversibly. India had finally joined the world economy after decades of staying away. It opened up huge possibilities. And Indian entrepreneurs and businessmen lived up to the promise. In 1991, India's GDP size was $266 billion. In 2003, the year of Business Today's first MPW Awards, GDP grew to $450 billion. Today, it is estimated at $2.5 trillion. So wrap your head around that. The market cap to GDP in 2002-03 was about 61%. Today, it is 116%, signaling the value that has been created. These figures indicate how dramatically the Indian economy has been transformed. In the last 30 years, the significant changes I have observed. Many family-dominated business groups have vanished from the list of top firms in this country. The emergence of the IT entrepreneurs, several of whom became billionaires. Thirdly, the rise of entrepreneurs in multiple sectors, in infrastructure, pharma, real estate, aviation, and finance. A prime example of the latter is here with us today, Mr. Uday Kotak. Kotak Mahindra Bank is a shining example of entrepreneurial excellence, growing from an NBFC to become one of India's finest technology-driven banking institutions with a market value of nearly 3.5 lakh crores. Amazing, Uday. The other big change was the easy availability of money to fuel growth. Some unfortunately got diverted to fuel lavish lifestyles, but that's par for the course for a growing economy. Lastly, the digitization of India that kick-started the boom in startups, which led to the phenomenal growth in unicorns, which you've heard about today. Today, India is the third largest startup ecosystem in the world, next only to the US and China. And while many startups today are led by women, I hope to see the number of women-led startups grow manifold in the years to come. Like twins that mirror each other's moves, business today is also moving in higher gear in this 30th anniversary year. The magazine has a reader base of more than 1.7 million. It's now much more than just a magazine. There's also businesstoday.in in our digital destination that has a wide reach with more than 12 million page views and 7 million registered users. We also have 1.5 million YouTube subscribers, 1.1 million Twitter followers, and more than 100,000 followers on Instagram. And then there is Business Today show on India Today TV. This new spread of Business Today across multiple media platforms allows Business Today brand to reach consumers of content across age, segment, and user preferences. Business Today is poised to leapfrog to an entirely new level with a new dynamic leadership and a resourceful, energetic team in place. Seeing Business Today's energy, dynamism, and quality of content fills me with great pleasure and excitement about the possibilities that lie ahead for this great brand. As the Indian economy gets out of the trough caused by the pandemic, the estimate of India's GDP growth in financial year 2021-22 range between 8.5% and 9.5%, signaling the high growth return. Hopefully, the war in Ukraine won't derail us. Also, the government's push on infrastructure, and hearing the words privatization is like music to my ears from the government. I haven't heard this in 46 years I have been in journalism. Therefore, I am highly optimistic about the Indian economy. We're a nation of entrepreneurs. There's nothing we can't achieve as long as the government remains an enabler. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Purie. And now I'd like to announce the Most Powerful Women in Business Awards. And before the gentlemen get too comfortable, we'd actually love to have you back on stage, Mr. Purie, Mr. Kotak, Minister Thackeray, to give out the awards to the distinguished winners tonight. All right. I'd like to start off, and she's amidst us in the audience today, Neerja Birla, founder and chairperson, Empower. Almost overnight, we saw a situation where in the world, millions needed support to deal with the impact of mental health issues. Something that impacts everyone, no matter what background. Neerja continues to strive towards the goal of opening more centers and impacting more lives. Ladies and gentlemen, Neerja Birla. Mahua Acharya, CEO, CESL, a subsidiary of Energy Efficiency Services Limited, a JV of PSUs under the Ministry of Power. Her mandate is to use her 2-decade-long experience in green finance, renewables, carbon markets to help achieve its 100 gigawatt solar power target by 2022. A big round of applause, Mahua Acharya. Aparna Purohit, Head of India Originals, Amazon Prime Video. With close to 20 million subscribers in India, Amazon Prime Video is focused on creating something for everybody across genres, geographies, languages, and Purohit is at the forefront of driving that change. She has the opportunity to make a difference in the creative ecosystem of the country in more ways than one. Arshima Goyal, member RBI MPC. In 2017, the government appointed her part-time member of the Economic Advisory Council to the Prime Minister, where she rubbed shoulders with economists like Vivek Debroy, Ratin Roy and Surjit Balla. She is now part of the RBI's 6-member Monetary Policy Committee, playing a big role in setting interest rates in the country. Dipali Goenka, CEO and Joint Managing Director, Welspun India. Dipali has been instrumental in transforming Welspun from textile manufacturer to $1 billion global home textile leader. She's delivered the highest ever revenues for Welspun all through challenging times that we faced during COVID, as well as taking care of the safety of Welspun's 20,000 plus workforce. Dipali Goenka. Dipali may have left. Hina Nagarajan, MD and CEO, Diagio India. Hina is one of the few women leaders in the alcobev industry. At Diagio, she's in charge of its massive India operations involving 3,261 direct employees, thousands of business partners, growing its 27,000 crore top line and firmly establishing it as a brand in the country's consumer goods market. Hina Nagarajan. Jyoti Deshpande, CEO, Viacom 18. She's part of an industry, as we heard from her earlier today, at the cusp of phenomenal growth. And she's been working with industry captains, as well as the government and custodian of brands that are looking to leverage the confluence of technology, content, and distribution to move the needle rapidly towards the $100 billion industry. Monica Shergill, Netflix's Vice President Content, says getting reluctant auteurs like Sanjay Leela Bhanswali to join the digital medium was among her biggest achievements. As per research reports, Netflix has 20% of the country's OTT market, and she has been instrumental in driving its top line and market share. Dr. Priya Abraham, Director, ICMR, National Institute of Virology. Priya took over the reins just 2 months before the pandemic struck. From handling logistics, to testing kits, to testing labs, to keeping an eye on emerging variants, her and her teams enabled India to make huge strides in the direction of curbing the speed of the virus. They were at the helm of also supervising vaccine trials here in India. A big hand for Dr. Priya Abraham. Monica, we would love to have you on stage. We just announced you. Great to see you here with us. Monica Shergill, everyone, Vice President Content, Netflix India. Could I also have Mridul Gupta, CEO, Coin DCX, to come on stage as we give out the next round of awards? It's very exciting for me to announce Priya Nair today because just a couple of days ago, she was promoted to Global CMO Beauty and Wellness at HUL. Huge round of applause. Such a pleasure to have her in the room. We know she's always jet setting. Handles 40% of the 45,000 crore business of HUL. She's been with them 30 years, champion for building future skills, and has led some path-breaking marketing initiatives. Suparna Mitra, CEO, Watches and Wearables Division, Titan Company. She has a responsibility of managing the 4,000 crore Titan Company's Watches and Wearable Division on her shoulders since 2020. It's rapidly grown from just a few dozen stores in that time, all omni-channel enabled, boosting online sales to 17% of the total now. Thank you, Mridul, for joining us on stage. Could I also invite Parizad of KPMG India to also come up for the next round of awards? She's left. Okay, Parizad's no longer with us. Vibha Padalkar, MD and CEO, HDFC Life. She believes the pandemic helped her company emerge only stronger because of its underlying digital DNA. And proof of the pudding, HDFC Life's profits rose from 1,295 crores to 1,360 crores in that fiscal. Vinita Singh, co-founder and CEO, Sugar Cosmetics. Sugar, which is an estimated 130 crore revenue for FY21, hit an annual run rate of 500 crores as of November, with more than 1 million app downloads on iOS and Android and 1.7 million plus Instagram followers. The brand also has retail touchpoints in 35,000 plus outlets and raised $21 million in Series C funding early last year. Could I also invite Ishika Jain, Director, GM Modular, to join us on stage for the next round of awards? Vishakha RM, MD and CEO, India First Life Insurance. From 130 crore annually in 2015, the business has grown to 100 crore plus a month. Under her leadership, the youngest entrant in the market, which ranks 10th among 23 insurance companies and among the top 5 in claim settlement. And her next big target, to get the company listed. Amira Shah, Managing Director, Metropolis Healthcare. She took a personal debt in 2015 to up her stake in Metropolis from 36 to 63%. In the next few years, the company listed. She paid back the debt. Today, Metropolis is valued at 16,000 crores, up from 2,000 crores in 2015. And to take the award on Amira's behalf, Ishita Midakar, CHRO, Metropolis. Arundhati Bhattacharya, Chairperson and CEO, Salesforce. Thank you, Ishika. Arundhati was the first woman chief of India's biggest bank, SBI. She retired only to bounce back in 3 years. At Salesforce, she leads its presence in India, doubling headcount within a year. And despite new industry, with the same passion, she's still very much one of the most powerful women in business in India today. Juliana Makwan, Salesforce, is here with us to take the award on her behalf. Meena Ganesh, CEO and MD Porsche Medical. Meena has been particularly active at Porsche, spreading to 30 cities, up by 10 during the pandemic, taking critical care of people at home. Porsche sees 30 to 40% growth in the next few years, including strategic M&As. That's the kind of vision and growth that they have in mind. To collect the award, Suniti Sharma of Porsche Medical. Congratulations. Radhika Gupta, MD and CEO, Edelweiss. Radhika manages assets worth 65,000 crore rupees, only 1 out of 40 mutual fund houses that has a woman CEO. She has a YouTube video gone viral called The Girl with a Broken Neck. Some of you can look that up later. And the fund house, again, really powered the digital technology in order to continue to thrive during the pandemic. Let me welcome Shalaka Kagathra, Head of Communications at Edelweiss, to collect the award. Radhika has also taken on the role of Vice Chairperson at AMPI. Rekha Menon, Chairperson and Senior Managing Director, Accenture. This year's only entrant to the BT's Most Powerful Women Hall of Fame, an exclusive club of 7-time winners of the MPW Awards. During the pandemic, she introduced several initiatives such as medical care at home, hospitalization support for Accenture, and also contributed in raising funds for India's fight against the pandemic. Accenture was the first in its industry to announce vaccination cover for all 250,000 plus employees and eligible dependents. She also accelerated the company's shift to digital, providing growth. Let me welcome Harsha Almad, AI Transformation and Change Lead Accenture, to collect this award. Rekha is also the first woman to be appointed as the chairperson of NASSCOM as of this March. Roshni Nadar, Chairperson, HCL Technologies. And I think Roshni has also sent us a message. I'm going to actually first play that out.
Hello everyone. Thank you so much to the Business Today team for this recognition. I feel honored and humbled to share this platform with all the wonderful women who are making their mark in business and policy. The fact that they have been doing this in what has probably been the toughest global economic environment is even more remarkable. Today, women are at the forefront of driving transformative changes across all fields. Recognitions like these are a true celebration of their achievements and leadership. Thank you so much once again, and I hope you have a lovely evening. Hello.
A billionaire, philanthropist, and looked to clock double-digit revenue growth as a leading businesswoman. To collect the award, Jill Curry, CMO at HCL Technologies. Upasana Taku, co-founder MobiKwik. She's the queen of mobile payments. We see 300 million Indians transact, and 100 million of those are on MobiKwik's platform. Upasana's headed towards IPO. And to collect the award on her behalf tonight, Reshma Chotani, Head of Banking Alliances at MobiKwik. Vinati Saraf, MD and CEO, Vinati Organics. And to collect the award, it gives me great pleasure to invite Vinod Saraf, Executive Chairman, and Kavita Saraf. Today, the company is the world's largest manufacturer of both chemicals, leapfrogged since she took over. When she joined the company in 2006, it had revenues of 20 crores. This fiscal, she expects 1,600 crores and a market cap at over 19,000 crores. I'd like to, in fact, invite all winners. Mr. Saraf, do stay on. I'd like to invite all winners to take a picture with our esteemed guests, Mr. Purie, Mr. Kotak, and Minister Thackeray. If I could have all the winners on stage, it's so phenomenal to have you all in the same room. A big round of applause, please, for all of our wonderful power ladies here today. And do bring your trophies with you as well. Neerja Birla, Mahua Acharya, Aparna Purohit, Ashima Goyal, Hina Nagarajan, Monica Shergill, Dr. Priya Abraham, Priya Nair, Suparna Mitra, Vibha Padalkar, Vinita Singh, Vishakha RM.
Good evening, ladies, and of course, gentlemen. It's been a privilege and an honor hosting all of you all. Thank you so much for making time out and gracing the 18th edition of Most Powerful Women, which has been a flagship platform for ideas and exchanges in terms of women entrepreneurship and their role in the Indian economy. Some very insightful discussions this evening, and I would really like to thank you all. I would like to thank our partners for bringing this event together, Coin DCX, GM Modular, and of course KPMG. And also, may I please request you to give a big round of applause to all the winners and the women who made it to the list, and also to our spectacular team for putting this excellent show this evening. Thank you so much.
2003, the first edition of the Business Today Most Powerful Women in Business. 19 years later, India Inc. is producing more winners than ever before. As India opened up, so did opportunities for women entrepreneurs and managers. Today, it's a brilliant agglomeration of promoters, executives, and even regulators, creating a unique and a much welcomed challenge for business today. More and more contenders showed up for the honors every year. In 2011, we introduced the Business Today Most Powerful Women Hall of Fame. This year, the list has been expanded to 52 names. Meanwhile, the power of the awards has attracted the world's leading women CEOs as chief guest over the years. Sarah Matthew, Chairman and CEO of Dun & Bradstreet. Meg Whitman, the then CEO eBay. Indra Nui, Chairperson and CEO Pepsi. Ellen Kullman, Chair of the Board and CEO DuPont. Chua Saw Kung, Group CEO of Singtel. Ursula Burns, Chairman and CEO Xerox Corporation. Padma Shri Warrior, Chief Technology and Strategy Officer, Cisco Systems Inc. Heather Bresch, CEO, Mylan. All have graced India's most power-packed awards. Awards highly regarded and coveted by the most powerful women in India.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.